Hi, I'm Erin from Cottage Designs by Erin on Etsy. And today I'm going to show you how I make my special cottage design pillows. Pillows are my best sellers and I've sold probably close to 100 since being in business on Etsy. So let me give you an example. Here's one that I have finished. And typically what I do is I buy cutter linens, which are linens that are old but have something wrong with them. They might have cigarette burn holes in them, stains, rust stains, who knows, holes, anything could be wrong with them. I cut off the good parts. I wash them in a mixture of Tide, vinegar, and baking soda. And then I put them in the dryer and I press them, and then I get started on my projects. So this was a table runner. As you can see, it's got magnificent detail. It has cut work, open design. It has bullion stitches. It's amazing. So I cut this off and I made a pillow out of it. So people ask me, how do you make your pillows? Do you have a pattern or how do you arrive at your design? So I'm going to show you today what I know. So stay with me and you'll have a finished project in a few minutes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut our linens out. So let me show you what I have in front of me. This is a beautiful, looks like it might have been a towel or possibly a table runner. It has exquisite detail on it. Let me show you that up close. And it was, the other end of it had rust stains on it. So all I've done is try to match a piece of background fabric to the embroidery piece that we're working with. And I chose a blue gingham to bring out this pretty blue flower. I've measured 1.5 inches on either side of this piece to figure out how big I want the pillow. And so now I'm going to cut that out. So you can use a paper pillow pattern if you want to, but it's not necessary. If you want a round pillow, you could just use a round plate and trace your pattern. If you want a square pillow, you could do what I just did and kind of eyeball it and see how big you want the pillow to be. If you want an oblong, same situation, but you would need an oblong piece of linen. It's nice to use gingham because it makes for easy cutting because you can follow the grids in the fabric. Okay, and then we need to measure on the end. Some people worry about using ink pens on fabric, but I'm never bothered by it. I just have to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so now we have our basic pillow design. I pinned it in place just so it wouldn't shift around. At this point in time, you could decide, do you want to cover these frayed edges? I don't want to because I like the shabby chic look of this, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You could go ahead and glue on 2 buttons, one on either side. If I had some bubblegum pink, that's probably what I'd go for, but I didn't have any coordinating buttons. So we're just going to go ahead and start sewing this. So when you sew your pillow, you're going to put the pretty sides down. And again, you need to kind of pin it in place. You can use a 1/4 inch seam or a 1/2 inch seam or a 1 inch seam. Depends on what you're going for. I'm just going to use a 1/4 inch seam on all the way around. And then down here, I use a little bit of a bigger seam so I can fold it under just so it's shut. I already have my machine threaded up. So you're going to start at the bottom. I'm using a 2.5 inch stitch length on top and a 3.5 inch on bottom, because that's my standard on this machine. Whoop. Screwed up my settings. We're going to sew all the way around the pillow, but leave the hands width room at the bottom so we can flip it inside out. And we're going to back stitch a little bit. Okay. We're going to remove our pin. Take some dress shears and cut off up to the stitch line, which is a slant, so that you'll have nice corners. You want to make sure you don't cut through the stitch line. And then you find where you left a hands width room and you flip it inside out. And this is what they call an envelope pillow. These were very, very popular at one time. And then they made a resurgence back in the 90s. But when you have these old linens like this, they're ideal for envelope pillows. So here is our finished pillow. So now we're going to press this down and stuff it. Give me a chance to do that, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I pressed the pillow and I've stuffed it, and now I'm sewing it shut. To sew the pillow shut, you're going to need a needle, about an elbow's length of thread. Double the thread by folding end to end. Thread that through your needle like so, and then you have to hand sew the edge shut. To stuff the pillow, I do not have a machine that blows the stuffing in. I do it all by hand, and it takes a while. And as my high school home ec teacher said, about the time you think you have that pillow stuffed full, stuff it some more, because it will usually hold more and more and more stuffing. Okay, so I'm taking my last stitch on this. And I've got it sewn shut. So now we have our pillow. So what makes these pillows really beautiful, besides the gorgeous handwork, is the trims. So you can use pillows, lace. I use a lot of ribbon on mine. And sometimes I just pin the ribbon on in case the woman who buys it is not a ribbon person. Not everybody likes frou-frou. Some people like it plain. I like them all dolled up. So I would take my pillow and I would pin the ribbon on. And then in my listing, I would state that the ribbon can be removed for washing or for buyer's preference. Okay, so that is our finished pillow. These are a huge seller. Even though the shabby chic look has kind of fallen by the wayside, there are women who are still very into that look, and they're also into the cottage design. And so these pillows come in handy for that. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for future sewing videos. Thanks. Bye.